But it's just like
it's from their perspective.
It's bad. 1492, he came in slaying
Like,
natives.
I mean, for example, bro, if you tell a story, right? If you on the street and you go find $20, you go tell a story. Yo, bro, I found $20 on the street. I mean, the nigga who lost $20, he tell his friend, yo, nigga, somebody got me for $20 today. Like, it's all about the perspective. And their story didn't get written down because
they just didn't do it.
They got murdered.
But they also
get to the money and slide. Get to the money and slide. Free all the bros inside. Free all the bros inside. Play with the bros, you die. Yeah. Get to the money and slide. Free all the bros inside. Play with the bros, you die. Yeah.
Hey, man, it's the Got 15 podcast coming back, man. Volume 3, man. Part who knows. It's your boy Mike, man. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Michael.Porter, man.
Follow me on Instagram at It's Chanman1.
Hey, man, y'all go follow the greatest man, the only Mike. Tap in with the YouTube vlog coming soon. It might already be out. Who knows?
Right, depending on when it should go up.
Yeah, who knows?
Hey, bro, follow the realest producer behind the scenes, man. The one, the only, X.B Daily on Instagram, bro.
All right, man. And we got special guests to my left. Go and shout yourself out.
y'all can follow me on Instagram at fancy.robin.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow her,
ROBYN.
man. Y'all know the vibes. Should be the second time y'all done seen us. So y'all know the vibes. But I mean, we're gonna start off with some conspiracy theory talk today, man. We got got an interesting idea we got here, and we're gonna toss it around the group, man. Okay. So can you just like go back over what you were saying, you know, right before we start the pod, just so they can know like exactly what the firmament is, you called it?
Yeah, so it's actually like in the Bible too, and it's like in different religions, but it's like as above, so below. So it's like a theory that like the earth is like surrounded by water, and it's like we're kind of like, you know, that Simpsons movie when they were like in that dome, like kind of like we're in a dome and like surrounding us is water.
Okay. And you start off by saying the moon isn't real.
Yeah.
So like how do those two correlate?
Well, like I've actually been doing like a lot of research on my own, like, and that part I haven't really got like to the bottom of it yet. Sure. But like I feel like the moon might be like a hollow like headquarters or something. Like because it's like side. If they have been to the moon, like what they do there. Like I don't know. I was doing research on the Titanic being fake. Like I don't know. It was like a whole lot.
What you think about 9/11?
9/11? That I never really got too much into, but like I feel like I feel like it was planned, but I know it happened for real. Like I know it's real.
Right.
But I don't know like the intention behind it.
Yeah.
For real.
Because I know at least with that, like the biggest theory, okay, it was the government who actually planned the whole thing, you know, whether they were the ones who actually flew the plane or they, you know, set up those guys to fly the plane so we can go to, you know what I'm saying? But that whole, I mean, I definitely could get behind 9/11 one, bro. Just because, especially like when you
kind of makes sense.
When you look at the history too, as far as like the government making shit up, not necessarily making shit up, or at least playing a narrative differently,
yes.
So they can have an excuse
so they
to
can go do
shit. Something
like that. It's documented that that's happened before. Especially, I know, I want to say it was like either World War I or World War II. It was some ship that they said got blew up, you know, overseas, and they was like, okay, yeah, let's hop in this motherfucker, and then it came back, oh nigga, that ship never existed.
That was fake.
Wow.
Fake ship, but that was our reason to go to global war. And it's like, all right, well, if they're willing to do that and put, you know, 100,000 American lives to death, I wouldn't put it past them to then kill 100 American lives so they could go get some oil.
Yeah.
They about to put your ass on a hit list, bro. I see the red dot on your forehead.
Right? I mean, look, this is.
Did y'all like
Allegedly.
know about like the mind, like when they were like doing mind controlling experiments on like America? Y'all didn't know about that?
Yeah, no, not
So
about
you
it.
It was a
beat.
I was going deep. Like, okay, so it happened in like the 50s, and like they were drugging people, and like it was a conspiracy theory at first, and then everyone found out it was true, and the government admitted it. And like they were putting people on LSD and stuff, and like doing mind controlling experiments.
I've
heard about
yes.
that too.
And at first, everyone thought, oh, the government would never do. You know that TikTok song where it's like, and ladies and gentlemen, you know the government said that won't happen. It's a lie.
Yeah.
It was a lie. They said that they would never do mind shit, but they did. And it's just like they killed like babies like during different experiments. like
Back.
experiments that they would try to do, and it's just like we're supposed to like.
And I don't
see
put it
them.
past them, bro.
Exactly.
I mean,
Don't
but
put
say
it
if
past
they had
them.
like some successful trials, do you think it would be worth the lives lost if they could figure out how to do mind control?
you know, I
Don't tell
feel
me.
like just be
Hell no.
Don't
honest.
tell me you no.
you know?
Don't be honest. Don't be honest.
On some Stranger Things shit.
Don't be honest with me. Like the government need to do some secret shit. Y'all do y'all secret shit over there. Like don't tell me, like
Yeah, keep my life
we skin
normal,
niggas
bro.
over here to figure out how to help you.
Fuck no.
Just help.
Yeah.
But they
You know
be
what I
doing
mean?
it to black communities all the time. Like they give certain drugs
Yeah.
and do certain things
Test
just
the
to
shit out.
experiment.
They gave
exactly.
the black community
crack.
crack.
Yeah.
Crack was real. The government planned that shit.
It's like all these different things that like I don't know, like you know in school they try to teach you about all like the small stuff when you're young and you don't
Right.
understand it, and then when you get older they try to teach you the big stuff.
But shouldn't they do that though? Like I think I feel like I see where you're going as far as like that's like a false history or like y'all are lying a little bit. But I feel like as a child, bro, I don't think it's at least especially for being in the best interest of the country.
Mhm.
They shouldn't be telling us that the U.S. is fucked up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you gotta at
age.
least spin the narrative. Nah, like to give you some fucking hope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm 6.
Yeah.
I don't need to know that the U.S. is an imperialistic country that terrorizes all
You know what I'm
motherfuckers.
saying? Kill people overseas all the
I don't even
time,
know
every
that.
day, blowing them up.
Keep
Like, we
the
don't need-
peace.
Would
Don't
you rather
even-
be prepared though?
As a child?
Because it's like
What's it gonna
okay,
do
That would
for
be
you?
the-
though?
what about like Santa Claus? Like being a kid and your
No.
parents telling you Santa Claus is real, and then like the detriment when you find out like damn it was all a
But
lie.
it's,
But
I
then
feel
what
like
about
so
the-
minimum though.
It's when you break it down that it makes sense. Like when somebody tells you that Santa's not real, you tell them why. Hey, I went out and paid for these presents. I worked my ass off for this shit. You break it down like that, it's not as bad.
I
I
mean-
feel like it's the same way with these conspiracy theories.
I'm thinking even with the Santa shit. I mean,
Let the
y'all
child
didn't
find
believe in
out.
Santa when y'all was growing up, type shit.
I
believe
didn't.
it.
Not really.
Not at all.
You never had a chance?
My parents were broke, so it was like there was no Christmas gifts, there was no Santa,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like the lies, the deception, like it
Yeah.
killed me.
Okay.
Cause it's like they gave a whole false narrative of a person, so you could grow up believing that this is true. It's kind of like the first idea of like you believing something and then all finding out that it was a lie,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like as long as someone with a higher authority tells you something, you believe it.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So you think people should know the truth off rip?
Yeah, because I feel like that's how it
The
starts.
only thing I can say to that is not everybody can handle the
that
truth.
shit, man.
True.
Can handle the truth.
But it's like, let's say
Chaos
like
would
we
ensue.
learned at a young age, like to handle stuff. When COVID happened, we wouldn't have took it so deep to like buy all the toilet paper, buy all the Lysol. Like if we were mentally prepared,
That was
You
my
know?
mentality.
You gotta
though.
think, bro. Some people are just not there.
Stupid.
Like,
Yeah.
no, like, and you really gotta look at it as far as, bro. It's natural selection. Like you have a random, like niggas are random die, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you got somebody that you dealing with, right? And they came from 2 stupid motherfuckers, and then their parents is, the other side is 2 stupid motherfuckers too.
yeah.
You can't really expect much more than for this nigga to be dumb.
Yeah.
But it's like nowadays with social media, like kids are teaching, like parents are teaching their kids TikTok dances, and I'm like, if you can teach kids a whole song, a whole dance, you can teach them like a lot more. Kids are not dumb.
Kids are not dumb at all.
But also, I feel like when people get older and they start having children, you as like an experienced, traumatized, individual, whoever you are, you want to save your kids from the real truth. Like, for example, I think it's good that schools are, to an extent, are promoting kids to go to college because, I mean, some people in the society, like doctors, lawyers, we literally need them to go to college.
Need
Mm-hmm.
it.
However, we shouldn't teach them in 5th grade. Hey, like, I ain't gonna lie, college is a scam. We're gonna take classes that don't matter, have nothing to do with your
Shouldn't be
major.
teaching them that.
You don't need to know all that.
They
right
don't
now.
need to know that
Or do you disagree with that?
Now,
I
maybe
feel
I
like-
might disagree with that
at
part.
5.
I'll say.
I mean, you don't need to
I mean,
teach him
in
it's a
5th grade?
scam. You don't need to teach him it's a scam, but you can necessarily teach him
That's not the only option.
But,
Yeah.
but I mean, but I don't remember them ever telling me.
There was
at least-
another option.
But they
I disagree with
they
that.
pushed the college
I
narrative
was
so
never
hard.
told that shit.
They told you college was the only option.
I was pushed in the
By who?
direction.
It was basically
Family
college and
and school.
military.
But
They
Exactly.
prepare you
that
for
was
that shit.
basically it.
But now, because but that's a reason that they're saying that, because if you go out there with no plan, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna fucking fail.
That's true.
There's so
So,
many
but
jobs
if-
you can do without college, though.
Absolutely. But I mean, the return on investment, especially if you have a high pay. I mean, let's just take Chan accounting, right? Once he graduates, he doesn't have to go into accounting.
Yeah.
He could go do whatever the fuck else he wants to do. However, he will at least have 1, a backup plan, and 2, some skills that he can use in another position. That's my whole thing, especially like when you get out of school and just straight work and it's not a career path, you're not learning any skills, right? So then once, let's say you work there for 5-10 years, now you're still skillless. You see what I'm saying? So even
You have job experience.
you have job experience,
You know,
right? But that job experience is only gonna get you other jobs with no skills. You
But
see
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
like a lot of times people like graduate with certain like degrees and they don't use those. And I feel
true.
like you're like not really taught like, okay, you're taught, okay, you want to be a doctor, be a biology major. You want to be a lawyer, be a law major.
Right.
But it's like nobody really teaches you like you can get a license in this, and with a license in this, you build this skill set and you save so much more money. And like that's why so many people are like drowning in student loan debt.
I mean, but then you got, but
That's-
that go back to the last point. If my mama don't know, my
Yeah,
daddy
that-
don't know.
That's where it
Mhm.
starts.
Yeah.
That is exactly.
And that's the whole purpose
You know what I'm
of
saying?
the whole government game. If you want to play it like that, like
The rat race.
they have no obligation to tell us the best route for us.
Mm-hmm.
They throw out some options. The school teaches this. You know, they teach you about science, history, math, so you can get some interest young. But they don't tell you like the best path for what you actually want to do.
Yeah.
Because
Everybody
they don't
knew
know
the
the
best
best path.
Yeah, and everybody's
But
different.
they know that statistically speaking, if you go to college, you're gonna have a better life. Statistically speaking, compared to somebody who goes to college, somebody that doesn't go to college, the average person has a higher income who goes to college. Even if, you know what I'm saying, that they may not be in their field, they on average are gonna have a higher income.
Well, let's say, what about like in this generation now? Because like that was more like applied to back like in the early 2000s, the 1990s. Like college was more like, what else are you gonna do? But now it's like kids can make money doing video games. Like
Absolutely,
you can
but
make so much
That's
more.
what we're talking about, a percentage here
That's
as
just
well.
That's
True.
the,
Like we like when you scroll on your Instagram, all you see is famous people. We don't see the people who
are
failed.
viewing it.
Yeah.
You don't see when you see the shade room, you like, damn, somebody's really grinding on the shade room. You don't see the 100 million people who watched it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Them niggas at home.
They just got off work.
They work 9 to 5.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
bad
They work
part.
9 to 5. They went to college, or they did, like you said, they're doing a trade. They got some kind of skill, but like, and I ain't never. I'm gonna say like I'm not knocking like trades and nothing like that because you're learning a skill, and that's the most important thing. That's what all college is giving you, is trying to give you a skill that's gonna be you know what
Useful
I'm saying,
to get you
useful
paid.
in the marketplace. So that's why that's what my mom told me in college and shit too. Like you're not going to college just for the degree. Yes, the degree is important, but if you're going to college for some skills that aren't needed in the marketplace,
Don't
why
mean nothing.
it doesn't mean anything.
Do you think it's like the education system is failing us then instead of just our parents? Because if you think about it, majority of our lives we spend it in school, like
Correct.
not at work, but 8 hours a day we're in school, like from morning to afternoon. And it's like your parents aren't really the ones that's teaching you, it's the school. And like
Correct.
now the school systems are taking like learning about religion now and like learning about certain things that like relate to life out. So like do you think they kind of fail us with not teaching us about like taxes and like teaching us about like stuff, especially like in high school, that are going to be skills and important to
Yeah.
learn in life?
I wanted to say something real quick. Like sometimes it comes down to the teacher too. Because
True.
And
we,
the
me
student.
and me,
And the student.
it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
But me and Chan had the same economics class.
Oh, yeah.
There was a dude that came out and tried to teach us some actual real deal. This is how the stock market is, and like
Yeah.
this is how it can get you further.
And
So-
not to cut you out in the classroom, like that would go over a lot of the students' head. Like if you didn't care, you didn't care.
And that's my point right there, bro. A lot of like, and I be looking back like, I mean, bro, I was a kid too, bro. Nah, fuck what you talking about. I'm not trying to hear it. Like,
Yeah, where's
I
lunch
don't
at?
care.
Like,
Whereas I'm trying to talk to, you know what I'm saying, Shawty over here that's sitting down. Like,
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
talking about is irrelevant.
yeah,
But now, of course, you know, as I'm older, especially like now when I go to class too, bro, I be trying to be intentional. It's like, okay, bro, he knows something, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
He know more than I know at the end of the day. And even if it's something that I may not be able to use tomorrow or, you know, in 5 years, having that base knowledge, bro, especially like, I mean, in my job, like I sell cars, right? So just me being able to have a brief conversation about what's going on in the stock market or have a brief conversation about what's going on over here in this industry with this guy may lead me to a sale because I'm better connected with you. And that's not something that you know is a direct benefit of college, but it is a benefit. Like,
Yeah.
it's a benefit
True.
of learning.
I wanted to say though, if you think like the education system failed you like learning wise, then you failed like
To learn.
just regardless.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Cause like if you think all your learning comes from school, you failed because
Mm-hmm.
like even if you have a bad school system, it really doesn't matter because nigga, if you really want to learn about some shit, you're gonna go fucking learn about some shit. If you don't, you're just gonna don't be a bum, do whatever you want to do for the rest of your life. Like,
And that comes with age too, because when you first start going to school, you're not thinking about teaching yourself
child.
real skills. You just they told me to
I
be here.
have to
I'm
do this
here.
every
I'm
day.
here.
Right.
Yeah.
I just got off the bus.
Yeah.
I'm
And
here.
but that's
no,
what,
but you thinking I like piano, so you're gonna go play piano every day, and that's a real skill or some shit like that. Like
Yeah.
I like making videos, so I'm gonna go out and make a video. You're not thinking like, you're not necessarily thinking I have all these skills that I'm grinding for. I'm a fucking 8-year-old. No,
Yeah.
you're like,
True.
I like football. I'm grinding my physical skills or some shit.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
I mean, but I agree with that, and I mean, obviously what we've all been saying, on the same side. I also agree that the school system isn't the best. I mean, there's definitely flaws in it that could be changed to help make it more efficient and make it more useful for everybody. Because like we were just saying, I mean, it's up to the student and the teacher, right? So that's gonna be a small percentage of niggas who are in the right mindset and catch the right teacher to succeed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, I
And
do
the
think
right
that we should
school
find some kind of
environment.
way.
It's a lot of things that play a factor into getting a good education.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like some people say, like government has structured it like this so niggas are able to like follow orders.
100%.
Of course.
Like
True.
just
That's-
know
I
for
don't see a problem.
Waking
15,
up,
16,
waking
17
up.
years of your life. Just
What's his name? I want to say it was John D. Rockefeller when that nigga
Yeah,
was blowing up and getting his money.
Yeah,
He was lobbying the board of education to say no, we
Yeah.
want to. Because back that was when the Industrial Revolution was popping off.
Yeah.
They're like, nigga, we need niggas in these factories. Like
Yeah.
we need bodies in these
Employees
factories.
every day.
We need motherfuckers to
And
push these parts out.
I don't need them to be smart as hell, but I don't need them stupid.
I don't want them stupid. I want them
Exactly.
to understand basic things.
Yeah.
And that's how we have our.
they need bots.
'Cause I mean, if you don't know basic
Yes,
math,
man.
there's not much you can do.
bro.
Yeah.
Like even
Shit, it
whatever
work.
field, like if you can't even count your own money.
But
It worked though.
there
Look
are a
at
lot
America,
of
bro.
people, bro, who don't even want to use basic skills like in anything. Like
Yeah, 49%
Yeah.
of the people are below average intelligence.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, bro.
See, I think
Makes
people
sense.
forget about that shit. Like
Absolutely, bro.
half of these people are dumb, literally.
I feel like the curriculum is kind of like it's like repetition. Like they teach you the same things.
Yeah.
How many of
Different
y'all can tell me
ways.
like everything that happened in the Cold War?
I'm on the Cold War. We know that shit, bro. Been there.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
know
saying?
nothing about the Cold War.
But they
I
taught
have
you it like
no
how
idea.
many years?
But they said it over and over again. It's
Exactly,
the
but that's
point.
not something that
Sounds
sticks
important.
with you because it's not relevant to
Don't
like the
care.
day to day.
I don't give a fuck.
But
about
then
that.
again, like I do think it's important to know history though. Like
One
there is-
time, because it's like you teach
you
it
ain't
like
gonna remember
5
shit.
times, you
Well,
still don't know
if
it.
if they only taught us about MLK one time, we'd be upset.
Boom. I agree with that too.
Okay, but Black History Month, like when it gets to African American, like they just go over the same shit.
Yeah.
2 things.
The
Yes.
same people
On to the
too.
next.
Same
Yes.
people for sure.
Martin Luther King was important. All right, next. Cool. That's all.
You may get Frederick Douglass.
You
Might
might
get
get
Rosa
Rosa for
You
a
might
might
get
few.
get
Rosa.
Rosa.
Why are y'all acting like we
You'll
didn't
get
have
Malcolm.
African American education growing up? Come on, stop.
I mean, it wasn't.
Stop it.
They gave us
Why are you
that
acting
one
like we had-
28-day
like it was very
month.
I
prominent?
didn't say it was prominent
Or extensive.
or extensive, but
I'm saying I'm agreeing
no,
with
I'm
you.
saying let's not like we gotta at least say that they did hit at least in American Black history. That's the difference. They only go over a portion of American Black history.
Yes.
And so that's so short to us because we have so much of, world history.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now I would have 100% agreed that why are we learning about everywhere else, all the European parts in the world and not anything else in the world? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we don't really touch Africa at all in world history. That
Exactly.
much.
You gotta
We
take a
built
separate
this
class
country.
for that.
Yeah, separate class for
Literally.
world
Yeah.
history. Like world history was mainly the Holocaust, like
World War One.
Magellan.
The slave trade.
Yeah, slave trade.
What's it called?
Learning
Manifest Destiny.
Manifest Destiny. You
Yeah.
also gotta
The
throw
only
in,
time we learned about Africa is when we learned
fucking
about the
what's his
slave
nigga
trade,
name?
bro. I don't know.
Christopher
Yeah.
Columbus.
Christopher fucking Columbus
Yeah.
ass.
But
Spent a
Which
lot of
was
time
all
on
cap.
that. Yeah, a lot of time on that.
Exactly.
Oh, niggas
Sound
was
good though.
Killing Native
Right.
Americans.
Sound good.
He
Right.
found something.
Sound good.
He
Right.
found
To
it.
them,
Right.
It's from their perspective.
But it's just like
It's from their perspective.
It was bad. 1492, he came in slaying
Like,
natives.
I mean, for example, bro, if you tell a story, right?
Body in it.
If you on the street and you go find $20, you go tell a story. Yo, bro, I found $20 on the street. the nigga who lost $20, he tell his friend, "Yo, nigga, somebody got me for $20 today." Like, it's all about the perspective, and their story didn't get written down because
they just didn't do it.
they got murdered.
But they also be trying to hide history,
For sure.
like, which is why they don't cover that much of American history, because it's like
It's
it's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
shit.
stuff.
But
Exactly.
every country has a lot of fuck shit.
And honestly,
The world is fucked.
and at a young age,
People are fucked.
at a young age, it's not worth explaining to a child like
But
how
all the
government
nuances
has
in between it.
systematically
Yep.
made it harder for people of color.
And that's why I think that, as you grow older, you have to hit it a few times
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of nuances in history, a lot of nuances in each situation as far as like you said, just about why. Like,
Yeah.
when you're a kid, just tell me what happened. You may not need to go into, super detail about like, I don't know, let's say why or what you want to call it. But as you get older, 16, 17, you start taking a little higher history classes, get into college. But that's a part of college though, it's to try and further that knowledge just to, but most niggas don't care.
But you notice
That's a
how like
fact.
kids will always ask why, but it's like that becomes annoying and nobody really wants to give
To
them
explain.
an explanation.
And that's one thing I do want to like
Mm-hmm.
be really diligent on my kids too. Like if you're asking me a reason, I'm gonna tell you the exact reason.
Exactly.
Like I'm gonna tell you how it functions, how it works, and why something's like that. My mom was pretty good about that too. Like she was real straightforward about anything you asking her. I'm gonna tell you the truth, whether you really want the truth or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like whether you know that that's the answer that you're to the question that you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you that.
Because
Answer.
it's really deeper than that. But
It's
I'll tell
always deeper than that. You're right. Exactly.
You
That's
notice
how
how
I'ma be
like
with
when
my
you're
kids.
kids. Oh wait, go ahead.
I was saying that I was agreeing. That's how I'm gonna be with my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you know how like when you're a kid, you don't think about it in this way. Like they teach you like the small stuff, and then as you get older, they teach you the big stuff. But I feel like they should teach you the big stuff and then go smaller. Like for example, where does a rock come from? Right.
Right.
It's just something that simple. They teach you in elementary school. You don't take too much from it. But like as I got older and I actually started doing research, like knowing like the basic stuff, like just like where a rock comes from, you learn about atoms, you learn about electrons, neutrons, all that. And it's like the simple thing of like a rock can teach you physics. And it's just that simple.
Right.
And it's just like nobody really wants to go that deep when you're a kid. But like if you were older and in high school and you had a class about like rocks, and then like from there going to physics and stuff like that, you learn about inertia, like you learn about a lot of stuff, and it's crazy.
I was just finna say, I agree that it should be learning, but when you're starting off big, can they even understand? Now I'm saying kids are stupid, but like, do they have the will to try and understand that?
something so deep, honestly.
Something
Especially-
that they may not care about.
Especially in early education, you have to teach a child how to learn too.
Yeah.
Like you can't just sit them down and start speaking to them. They know to remember,
They have
know to
no-
write a note.
They have no clue.
That's
what
why
the
you have to
fuck's
teach them
going on.
small shit. So when they get to
just
the
got
bigger
here.
shit,
They're blank.
I know I need to take notes. I know. Hold on, let me ask a question right now because I'll forget it later.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you gotta teach them how to learn.
I think that's
first.
important too. And that's something that they don't do,
Yeah.
or as much as they should. Like teach you how to learn efficiently, how to learn quickly.
And
Reading-
everyone
learns
reading every
differently,
this fucking
too.
book all day
Exactly.
is not the best way to learn some
Yeah.
shit.
Not
That's
for
the biggest-
Not for everybody.
That's the biggest part, bro. Like how you teach somebody. Did y'all see that video of like some kids learning the Spanish alphabet?
No.
It was like it was this teacher, she had put "fuck nigga free" behind it.
Oh
Made it
yeah,
a
I saw
song.
that.
And it's like if you teach something like that, not like exactly
Exactly.
like that, but like something that's gonna get everybody involved and engaged,
Yeah.
type thing.
Just like that song, like it's like INDE,
Yeah.
and you learn how to
Yeah.
spell independent at a young age because
For
they put
sure.
it in a song, and it's just that simple.
It's with everything.
Y'all ever heard of vocabulary? That shit was
No.
damn. That shit was so hard, bro.
Swing and a
Yeah.
miss.
If you
You're by
want to,
yourself.
no. If you want to learn some good vocabulary, is
I'm
hard.
good. I'm good.
Well, oh, you want to expand your fucking knowledge, Chan?
Yeah, chain one.
You must stay dumb then. Okay.
Yeah, nigga.
Yeah.
You
With
know,
that-
like something that's like really difficult for people that's like really easy is like learning military time, and it's just like the way people
I never
think about
understood
it.
why people couldn't understand.
Yeah,
It's not
like
hard.
it's the way people think about it. They think about it in a difficult way, but it's actually like a lot
Pretty
simpler.
simple, yeah.
It's so simple.
Yeah, like 1,700 hours, right?
It's just all the way.
That's 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know the easiest way to think of it: take 2 away from the second number.
That's what I do.
Exactly.
I count to 12, and then let's just add the number to get where I need to go. It's
Exactly.
very simple.
But some people just not smart in general. Like we said.
No,
50%.
you are lazy as fuck.
That's true.
They
Little
don't
bit of
want to do
both.
that because it don't take nothing but to add 2 numbers.
Exactly.
But it's like they're used to being able to look at the clock and tell. I don't want to add
Yeah.
and do all that shit. But
Just like now, like nobody cares to remember things because you could just look it up real
Look it
quick
up.
whenever
That's
you need to
facts.
remember it.
I
mean,
agree.
my teacher did tell me I'll never have a calculator in my hand. Look at you
back
now.
back then, it's like no, you can know about it by hand. But I mean, I do think it's still important to know
It's
shit.
very
To
important.
know shit, but
Mhm.
at the same time, as we progress in technology, you got to be able to keep up with the times and use Google and like
Yeah.
for teachers to back then saying, oh, you shouldn't use Google to help you.
Tripping.
Mhm.
Nowadays, when Google is our go-to,
That's their whole lesson
it doesn't
plan.
make sense.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
And with that being said, man, it's been the Got 15 podcast, and we out, man. Peace.
Get to the money and slide. Get to the money and slide. Free on
Appreciate y'all popping out to the podcast, man. Make sure y'all leave a like. Go ahead and comment something. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you don't miss any of our videos, bro.
And make sure you subscribe to our Patreon for exclusive behind-the-scenes videos posted weekly. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TikTok, and I already know we're on YouTube, man. Go check us out everywhere.
For sure.
Brr.